Hi, I'm Hailey Suttles, the youth pastor here at Westside, and during Holy Week, the pastoral staff has gotten together and we're going to be sharing some devos with you each day of different messages that God has laid on our heart. So today we're going to be in John 13 during the Last Supper, and we see this hour of ultimate love is also one of ultimate betrayal. John 13:1 says, "Now before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour had come, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them until the end." Jesus knew his time had come. The Last Supper marks the beginning of the end of this great movement of divine love, which began at the beginning of the world and will now be fulfilled through the death and resurrection of Christ. This great movement of divine love began back at the beginning. God, who is love, created humanity out of love to be in relationship or communion with God. Our meaning and our purpose in life was through love for God. But in sin, we lost this because we loved ourselves and the things of this world for our own interests. We no longer saw God as the one who gives life, who gives meaning, who gives purpose. Instead, we put our love on other things that we thought would give us life. By putting our love in these things, we deviated our love from the only object of all love, and we died. But there is hope, because in God's great love and mercy, a new divine work began, one of redemption and one of salvation. And it was fulfilled in Christ, the Son of God, who in order to restore our communion with God, became human. He took on our nature, and in him life was revealed. It was given, it was accepted and fulfilled as perfect communion with God. And during the Last Supper, he offered himself as the true food for humanity, because the life revealed in him is the true life. So whenever we eat or drink from this cup in our sacrament of communion, we're proclaiming Christ's ultimate act of love through life, death, and resurrection. The Last Supper is the restoration of life as communion with God. But during this hour of ultimate love, there is also one of ultimate betrayal, where we see Judas leaves the light of the upper room and he goes into the darkness. And in John 13:30, it says, "And it was night." And so why does he leave in the night? It was because he loves, but it wasn't because of love for God. It was love directed from God towards our own interests. The betrayal by Judas reveals to us that sin, death, and self-destruction are also due to love, but at love directed at things which don't deserve love. So where is your love directed? Is it directed at things that bring sin, death, or self-destruction, things of your own interests, or is your love directed towards true life, towards things that bring communion with God? So we see in this story two paths of love emerge, which leaves us with a choice. Do we follow the path made possible by Christ's love that reminds and shows us the way to true life? Or do we follow the same path of Judas into love that is twisted and stolen from God and given to our own desires? Only we can make that choice for ourselves.